It's Lance and Larry tracking the pack. We don't take the week off, even though it's a bye week. Larry McCarren standing by. And Larry, is the bye week too early this year, or with the 1-2 start and with everything else that's going on injury-wise, does it come at the right time?
Well, I think, truth be told, anybody involved would prefer the bye coming later. There's no guarantee you're not going to be just as injured later. You'll probably be more tired. I mean, as far as getting a break, freshening up and all those things, I think more towards mid-season, even after that, it would be much preferable. But it is what it is. Nobody's wringing their hands and saying, poor us. But I think if you had your choice, you'd choose one later.
What are some of the top areas, in your opinion, Larry, that the coaches are looking at to improve as they get back?
Well, number one, they're not improving much right now because they turned them loose Monday and they don't have to be back in town until Sunday. But I think in a general sense, you'd have to look at what the team's done so far and you'd say, and I know this is kind of a mystical commodity, but you'd have to say, hey, win games in the fourth quarter when you have the opportunity to do so. When they lost to the 49ers and the Bengals, I mean, they had chances, good chances, realistic chances to win those ball games and couldn't get it done. I think they've got the folks to accomplish those kind of late game victories, but they haven't got it done. Potential is interesting, performance is everything, and those are the kind of things that over the course of a season, you look at teams that have a good year, they win the close games. They win games in the fourth quarter, and the Packers haven't put that together as yet, and I think in a general sense, I think that's one thing they'll be looking for when they come back.
Larry, in your opinion, what do they do at kick and punt returner now that Jeremy Ross is gone?
Well, as of Monday, Mike McCarthy said kind of off the record, he says, I don't know what we're going to do. And they brought in a couple guys to take a look at B.J. Hill from the Green Bay Blizzard, our Arena League team up here, and Orwin Smith. And I'm sure Ted Thompson, being Ted Thompson, he's making a list and checking it twice to see what his alternatives are. Of course, number one, the best returner on the team is Randall Cobb, who they prefer not to be returning kicks. If Jonathan Franklin is healthy, he's got some potential there. But I really think the Packers are going through the process, determining what their best alternative is, and we'll find out when they reconvene for practice Monday.
Larry, how dire is the Packers running back situation with James Starks hurt? You and I were both in Cincinnati. Jonathan Franklin obviously was hobbling around after that game. They expect Eddie Lacy back, but is it kind of a tough situation right now when they get back from the bye?
Well, I would rate it tough and not so much dire. It is just 3 games into the season. There's a chance Eddie Lacy would be okay. Jonathan Franklin has had a week to heal up. And the guy you got to worry about is James Starks. And it's another case where the Packers are going to have to be ready depending on the condition of these fellas. And they know more about that condition than we do. They also have Michael Hill on the practice squad. They seem to like him. I don't know what the young man can do, but they do seem to like him. So they've got some alternatives there. But I think it's been fascinating. No matter who's been in the backfield, they've had a productive running game. It's a top 10 running game right now, and that's encouraging. But as you mentioned, if some of these fellows don't get well, and John Kuhn, I mean, he just sat out with a hamstring. If some of these guys don't get well, then they've got to do something. But I want to see that health status before we say, oh my word, what are we going to do with the running game? They get Lacy back and Franklin's okay. I think we're pretty well good to go. They went into a game against the Bengals with a couple guys in the backfield and seemed to come out of that, as far as production goes, pretty well.
The next opponent is the Lions. Detroit has not won in the state of Wisconsin since 1991. That's 22 consecutive home games, Larry, including the playoffs. I know talent usually wins out, but sometimes you get lucky in there too. How on earth do you describe that, other than the Packers usually being better than the Lions?
I describe it for 2 reasons. During that time frame, the Packers have had Brett Favre, followed by Aaron Rodgers. And at the most important position, the Packers have had, and I don't think this is a leap of faith, 2 future Hall of Famers. Brett Favre certainly, and Aaron Rodgers, all he's got to do is continue playing like he has. You got 2 Hall of Famers at that position, and that explains a couple decades worth of futility by the Detroit Lions. They are getting better. I don't think that's going to be an easy game at Lambeau Field when we get back to playing football again. But if you're looking for one single reason that the Packers have owned Detroit in Lambeau Field, it's those two guys, the quarterback position, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
All right, Larry, thanks for the time, and we'll be tracking the Pack next week, talking more about those Detroit Lions.